My first SaaS product didn't just fail, it flopped loudly. If failure had a leaderboard, we would be somewhere in the top 5. And what a surprising part, I wasn't new to this. I had already built products for global clients, led engineering teams, advised 100 plus SaaS startups. But when it came to my own SaaS product, I still got it wrong. And if you're working on your first product right now or recovering from your first one, trust me, you are not alone. In this video, I am breaking down the real reasons why most SaaS founders mess up their first product, including the exact traps I fell into and what we did in the version 2.0 to turn the ship around. So if you're a founder, product builder, or just SaaS curious, please hit that subscribe button. I share hard-earned lessons like this every week. And if it can save you from wasting 6 months and 6 figures, I would say that's worth a click. So let's dig into what went wrong and how to get that right. Let me take you back to that first product. We had the vision, the funding, the team. We even had momentum. We also had zero real product validation, a flashy but impractical tech stack, and founders, including me, who stepped away from the product too early. What started as a promising MVP quickly turned into a pile of assumptions, bugs, and user confusion. And the worst part, I had seen these mistakes happen with other founders, but now I was living it. And that's when I realized, if this could happen to me, it could happen to anyone. So what did we do wrong? What do thousands of other first-time SaaS founders do wrong? Let's see. At the time, I thought hiring a CTO would free me up to handle other things like marketing, sales, partnership. But here's the hard truth. If you are not leading the product in the early days, you are settling yourself up for trouble. You as the founder are closest to the problem. You have spoken to the users. You see the vision. You know the why. No one else, no matter how smart, can replicate that. Even Clark Benson, founder of Ranker, said the same thing. He hired a CTO too early and later realized he should have stayed closer to the dev team himself. In Alright version 2.0, we corrected that. I stayed involved in every product decision, every spin, every trade-off, and it changed everything. Sometimes we pick the tech stacks based on what is hot, not what is right. That's exactly what we did. We chose tools that made us feel innovative until we realized it was hard to hire developers. The documentation was sparse, and every small bug turned into a Slack war zone. The wake-up call: our product couldn't scale, and it was expensive to maintain. There's a reason Dan McKinley said choose boring technology. Because boring means stable, boring means predictable, and boring will not break at 2 a.m. Segment learned this the hard way. They went with microservices too early, then had to roll back to a monolith to reduce complexity. In version 2.0, we kept things pragmatic, chose what we could support, what had long-term community backlog, and what was well documented. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. This is the big one. We got caught up in building features, feature after feature, but we never asked, do people actually need this? According to CB Insights, the number one reason startups fail is simple. There is no market need. That alone accounts for 42% of startup deaths. In our case, we were solving problems that only we thought were important. Users, they were confused. Slack's origin story is a good reminder here. They started as a game company. The game failed, but the internal tool they used for communication, that became Slack. In version 2.0, we changed the approach entirely. Before building, We now run rapid concept workshops. We map user journeys, test prototypes, talk to potential customers and ask one key question. What's the pain worth solving? If we cannot answer that clearly, we do not build it. We assume we could deal with the architecture later. Spoiler alert, later came faster than we expected. The app crashed frequently. New features took longer to ship. Every update felt like defusing a bomb. Trendy is the classic example here. Great product, poor architecture. They couldn't scale and lost to more technically prepared platforms. Research from Stripe suggests that technical debt can consume up to 42% of engineering time in a growing SaaS team. That's half your velocity gone. With Alright 2.0, we built our tech blueprint software architecture framework. It's the same framework we now use with every SaaS company we work with. Clean separation of services, modular components, integrated monitoring, error tracking and alerting pipelines. It's not glamorous, but it keeps the engine running smoothly. Imagine this, a code base that looks like it was written by 5 developers from 5 countries who have never spoken to each other. That was us. No linting, not so good naming conventions, not a lot of consistency. We thought we were moving fast, but in reality, we were digging a hole. Microsoft ran a study that found code reviews reduced bugs by over 35%. But more importantly, they improved team collaboration and knowledge sharing. So in version 2.0, we made code reviews mandatory. We defined patterns, we documented architecture decisions and onboarding new developers much easier. We had feedback forms, users filled them and we didn't act on them. Huge mistake. Christina Cassiopo from Vanta has this great quote. Keep talking to users until 70% of what they say is stuff you already know. That's how you know you are listening enough. Now we use NPS feedback loops, feature voting boards and structured interviews. If someone complains or even suggests, we track it, score it and review it during sprint planning. Feedback isn't a nice to have. It's product direction. At some point, our product UI became a museum of experiments. Every new feature was jammed into the interface wherever it fit. Onboarding flows became a puzzle. Even our own team struggled to find features we had shipped 2 months ago. And here's the scary part. 88% of users won't return to the product after a poor experience. We felt that. So we stopped everything and brought a design team. Started weekly UX reviews, simplified key flows, measured drop-offs and treated design as first-class citizen, right alongside features and architecture. The results? Higher retention, better user feedback and more confident onboarding. Today, things look different. Every SaaS we build or advise now follows a structured framework. We use the SaaS success strategy framework to go from idea to execution. We validate every concept with rapid concept workshop before a single developer is assigned. We apply our tech blueprint to avoid technical landmines. And we maintain a sprint rhythm that balances product, architecture, UX and feedback in equal priority. These frameworks didn't come from the books. They came from mistakes, our own and others. You can download my SaaS product success framework for free. The link is there in the description. I've worked with founders, CTOs and product teams across dozens of industries and geographies. And the patterns are universal. If you're building your first product right now, please do not repeat these mistakes. Stay close to the product, especially in the beginning. Do not chase flashy technologies. Chase reliability. Validate the problem, not the solution. Invest in architecture early. Treat design like a growth strategy and keep your ears close to your users. Because sometimes failure doesn't mean you were wrong. It just means you didn't listen early enough. So guys, let me know in the comments what's the biggest mistake you made or are scared of making in your SaaS journey. And if you want to avoid these traps entirely, I have linked the frameworks we use in the description. Please do not forget to subscribe for more battle-tested SaaS strategies, real stories, and systems that actually scale. Thank you for watching.